Good evening, Cecilia.
Good evening, teacher. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Good.
How was your day at work?
Tired?
Really?
Tired.
Okay, so in that case, when I ask you how was your day at work, um, you will say like this,
Ya no me sirve este teléfono.
tiring,
Tiring.
yes? Because tiring
Tiring.
is que la hace sentir cansada a usted, yes?
Um,
Tiring. And if you say tired,
tiring.
tired is que cómo se siente usted, yes?
Mm,
I am tired. Why? Because my job is
sorry.
tiring. My job is tiring.
Mm, mm, thank you.
No. Have you been working on the exercises for unit number 4? Have you
Repeat.
have you been working on the exercises for unit number 4?
The number two?
No. If you have been working on the exercises for unit number 4, the week number 4, did you complete the exercises in week number 4?
Yes, but I sent only one.
Okay, so you're missing the other one, the second one.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you have to finish them today because tomorrow we finish. So last day is
Okay.
tomorrow, and you also need to do a test tomorrow. So everything is going to be on that day.
I say I sent today.
I'm going to
I going to
send it today.
send in today.
Okay, good. Well, Nancy is connecting right now, but she can speak because she had a surgery. But good evening, Nancy. I hope
Hello, Nancy.
I hope you are better than yesterday. Then on the weekend she will be okay. Okay, so I guess the other ones are going to join us later, but we have the attendance in, well, we will have it in some minutes. Before that, I'm going to ask you, Cecilia, and maybe Nancy can type the answers. Cecilia, what do you do before you enter to class?
I wash the dishes.
Good, I wash the dishes. Nancy, what do you usually do before you enter to class? She will type it. No, what do you usually do before you enter? What do you usually do?
¿Qué estás viendo? El varón es.
It's not what you were doing. What do you usually do? Oh, good. So Nancy saying, I usually watch TV. Yes, I usually watch TV. Now, Cecilia, what do you do yesterday after class? What do you do yesterday after class?
I, I studied for my license.
License.
Yes, license.
Good. So I studied for my license. Good. Nancy, what do you do yesterday after class? Good evening, Daniel. Good evening, Constantino.
Good evening, teacher.
Okay, Nancy is typing an answer right now, so I'm going to ask Daniel the first question that we have. Daniel, what do you usually do before you enter to class? What do you usually do?
Repeat me, please.
What do you usually do before you enter to class?
Oh, okay. I usually after the class uh,
But I mean,
as
what do
as
you
the
usually
dinner.
do?
Uh,
What do you usually do before you enter to class?
oh,
What do you do, Daniel? Some minutes before you enter to class, what do you do? What do you usually do?
I going to eat the dinner.
Okay, so I eat dinner. I eat dinner. Good. Now, Constantino, what do you do before you start class?
Generally, I drink a coffee or, or watch TV a little minutes.
Okay, I couldn't hear
Or
you properly, Constantino. Can you repeat it,
excuse
please?
me, repeat.
Can you repeat it, please? I couldn't
Ah,
hear you.
okay. Generally, before the class, I drink coffee.
Good.
Or um, I stayed with my wife, um, uh, or in or disconnect me that my job.
From my job. Good.
Yeah.
So Constantino said, I usually talk to my wife. I do this, this, and this. Cecilia said, I wash the dishes. Nancy said, I usually watch TV before class. Daniel said, I usually have dinner or eat dinner before class. And Stanley, what do you do before class? Good evening.
Good evening. So I try to relax, but I disconnect to the job late, very late, like Constantino say, complicated something.
Okay, good. What about Christian? Good evening, Christian. What do you do before class? What do you usually do? Christian, can you hear me, guys? Oh, I guess she had problem with connection. Well, now the second question. The second question is, what did you do yesterday after class? What did you do yesterday after class? Cecilia said, I studied for my license. Then I asked Nancy, and Nancy texted over there, and she said, I took my medicines yesterday after class. Yes? Good. Now, Constantino, what do you do yesterday after class?
Uh, um, I visit my
Visited?
yeah, I visit my
Visited.
vi-
Visit is every day.
yeah, I visited my sister because my niece ah, cumplía, how do you say cumplía?
What?
Cumplía años.
Because it was my niece's birthday. It
Ah,
was my niece's birthday.
because my niece's birthday.
It was
It
my
it
niece's
it
birthday.
was my niece's birthday.
Niece's apostrophe and s for the
Ah,
possessive.
niece's. Okay, niece. Mhm.
Good, good. So in this case, Constantino went to visit his sister after class. Stanley, what did you do yesterday after class?
After class, I drank a cup of coffee. After that, I watched some minutes TV. Um, After I went to sleep.
Okay, so I watched. I watched.
I watched.
Good. Daniel, what did you do yesterday after class?
Uh, I watched a series on Netflix.
You watched a series on Netflix.
Yeah,
Good, good. Now, Brenda, what did you do yesterday after class? What did you do yesterday after class, Brenda? Well, I guess she's going to type it. While she answers, Carlos, what did you do yesterday after class, Carlos?
I I took my dinner and I talked with my mother.
Okay, I had dinner
I,
or I ate dinner.
I
Don't say take for meals. Don't say take breakfast, take lunch, take dinner. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
I have breakfast or I ate breakfast. In the present, I have breakfast or I eat. Good. Next one, Christian, what did you do yesterday after class?
Um, I went to my bed.
I went to bed. Good, Christian, good. So he was tired and then he went to bed. So all those activities that you are saying, some of them happened in the past, like yesterday, but some of them are like
¿A
activities that
ya?
you usually do. Activities
Por
that
mí
you
es el
usually do,
número, ¿no?
like if you say Constantino drinks coffee before the class. So this is something that he always does, that he always drinks coffee. Yes? And this is something that we are going to study today. But before that, I'm going to show you the attendance so that you can say present when you hear your name. First person, Felix Ernesto Castellanos is not here. José Mundo Ábalos is not here. Carlos Eduardo Barrera,
present.
good. Cesar Santiago Benavides is not here. Cristian Armando Cardona,
Present.
good. Adolfo Castro is not here. Cecilia Guadalupe Castro,
Present.
good. Kenya Clara, well, she's there. Nancy Claudio is there, but she can't speak. David is not here. Melvin is not here. Oscar is going to be in some minutes. Constantino Guardado Guardado,
Present.
good. Mario Hernandez is not here. Stanley Pina,
Present.
good. Javier is not here. Brenda Orellana, she's there. Daniel Peña,
Present teacher.
Amy said that we don't know who she is. Okay, so what I was telling you is that those activities that I told you in the beginning, like you were saying, I ate my dinner yesterday after class. So if you're saying yesterday, that is in the past. But you can also have it in the present. What do you usually do after class? And then you can say, oh, I usually watch a series on Netflix, or I usually talk to my wife. Any kind of activities that you do after class can be in the present because it is a routine. And you can also say in the future, for example, what are you going to do today after class? And then you say, oh, I'm going to play basketball, I'm going to swim, I'm going to dance. So you're using going to for the future. In other words, those expressions can be in the present past, or future. And I'm going to show you right now how those things are called. They are called time classes. Yes, and time classes are words or time expressions are words that you use to indicate that one action happened before another action, or that two actions happen at the same time, or that one action happened after another action. And here you have time clauses. When we say clauses, it means sentences, but long sentences. So it says, before you start writing the purchase order, you have to check every product. And this is true. Before you start writing the purchase order, you have to check every product. Why? Because imagine that a product is not in the warehouse and you add it in the order, you will have a problem. And also because if you write five products and when you go to the warehouse there are only four, so you have to raise again all the order. So what they are saying is that before you start writing the purchase order, you have to check every product before that. Yes. Now the second one, after they pay, we can start placing the packages on the truck. You cannot do it before. Why not? Because imagine that you are packaging or putting or placing the packages on the truck and they leave, they escape and they don't pay you. So after they pay, we can start placing the packages in the truck. Before that, it is impossible because you can be stolen. Yes, they can steal your product. So after they pay, we can start placing the package. Before that, we can't. Next one, we are authorized to change items or products until we check the purchase order. Until. Before that, we cannot do it. We can do it until we check the purchase order. So until, hasta, until we check the purchase order. Next one, as soon as. As soon as means immediately. Or in Spanish, like when you say tan pronto como, as soon as. As soon as we register the order in our system, you can take it home. So you can say, when can I take my product to my house? And then you say, as soon as we register the order in our system, you can take it home. Yes? So here you have only four prepositions. You have before, after, until, and as soon as. You have more prepositions. You have the preposition um, once. Once means una vez. Like for example, once you pay the product, you can take it home. You can also use when. When you pay the product, you can take it home. Yes? So you have different words that are going to help you to express the sequence of the actions. What happened first, what happened later, or if they happen at the same time. If you remember, my questions were number one, what do you usually do before you enter to class? What do you usually do before you enter to class? And then you told me, oh, before I enter to class, I wash the dishes. So you have two activities. You enter to class and you wash the dishes. But the first activity is that you wash the dishes. So you say, before I enter to the class, I wash the dishes. Or I wash the dishes before I enter to class. What is the difference? The difference is that when you start with before, when you start with after, when you start with as soon as, you need a comma to divide two sentences. For example, before you start writing the purchase order, comma, you have to check every product. Or you can say, you have to check every product before you start writing the purchase order. So if you write the time expression at the beginning, then you need a comma, mandatory, to divide the two sentences. After they pay, comma, we can start placing the packages on the truck. So you have after at the beginning, write a comma. You can also say, we can start placing the packages on the truck after they pay. Yes? Number three, we are authorized to change items until we check the purchase order. We are authorized to change items until we check the purchase order. Estamos autorizados a cambiar productos hasta que revisamos la orden de compra. Yes? You can also switch positions and you will say, until we check the purchase order, we are authorized to change items. Yes? But here you're not starting with a word like before, after, until, as soon as. So there is no comma. Why not? Because the comma is only when you start with before, after, until, and as soon as. In this case, you have until, but in the second sentence. So you don't need the comma. Next one, as soon as we register the order in our system, comma, you can take it home. As soon as we register the order in our system, you can take it home. Or you can take it home as soon as we register the order. Any questions about this? No? Any opinion?
No, teacher.
Okay, and the rest of people, Cecilia, Constantino, Brenda, Kenya? No? Okay, so now we are going to see. I'm going to play a video, and in this video, you're going to see more information about time clauses. And as I told you at the beginning, you can use time clauses for sentences in the present, for sentences in the past, and for sentences in the future. The only reason why you use time clauses is because you want to express what happened first and what happened later. Yes, so that is the only thing that you want to express when you use time clauses. Now, let's watch it.
Now we are going to practice time clauses. Here are some important things to remember about time clauses before we begin. They require a subject and a verb. A time clause must be connected to a main clause, but it can come before or after the main clause. If the time clause comes before the main clause, as it does in this example, there must be a comma to separate the clauses. In this first example, before I traveled to Australia, I was very shy. The sentence could be switched around to say, I was very shy before I traveled to Australia. Each of the examples to come follow these same rules about time clauses. As I show you more examples, I will also explain a little bit about how to use subordinating conjunctions. Before and after are subordinating conjunctions. After I went to Australia, I was better at communicating. Once and as soon as are also subordinating conjunctions. They are used when one event happens and another event happens soon afterwards. Once I experienced more of the world, I related to people differently. As soon as I met people in Australia, I became more outgoing. The moment is used for a particular point of time when two events happen together. The moment I was on the plane, I felt freedom. Until is for time clauses that go to that time and then no longer. Until I moved away from home, I had very few friends. Finally, by the time is used for an event that is completed before another event. By the time I returned home, I was a new person. Now practice using each of these subordinating conjunctions with time clauses on your own, and then with your classmates and teacher.
Okay, so that was the explanation. I just want to share the screen again so that we can verify one by one. The first one says before, the second one after, once, as soon as, the moment, until, and by the time. If you remember at the beginning of the class, I was asking you what do you usually do before you start class and like that. So we always have two actions, we always have two activities. And what we want to express when we use the time clauses is what happened first and what happened later. You want to express the sequence of the actions. So in this case, before I traveled to Australia, I was very shy. This is like a story. So before I traveled to Australia, I was very shy. After after I went to Australia, I was better at communicating. Once is similar to say una vez que. Once I experienced more of the world, I related to people differently. As soon as, tan pronto como, as soon as I met people in Australia, I became more outgoing. Yes. The moment means like immediately. The moment I was on the plane, I felt freedom. Next one, until I moved away from home, I had very few friends. Not many friends. I had very few friends. And by the time I returned home, I was a new person. By the time is like if you say hasta que, similar to until. Or in other words, you can say para cuando regresé a casa, o para el momento que yo regresé a casa. By the time I returned home, I was a new person. Yes? So this is like a story. If you can see, before I traveled to Australia, I was very shy. But after I went to Australia, I was better at communicating. Once I experienced more of the world, I related to people differently. And as soon as I met people in Australia, I became more outgoing. And the moment that I was on the plane, I felt freedom. But until I moved away from home, I had very few friends. But later, I had a lot. By the time I returned home, I was a new person. I was not a shy guy anymore. Yes? So those are the words that you're going to use to express sequence of actions. Any questions? And remember that you can express ideas in the present, ideas in the past, ideas in the future, so in different tenses, not only past, but also present and future. Questions? Melvin?
Mm, Eso iba a preguntar si solo para el pasado.
No, it can be the past, the present, the future, all tenses, all tenses.
Ok.
Another one? No? Okay, so let's see how you complete these exercises. We are going to start with David. How do you complete the number one, David? You have two options. You have before or as soon as.
Before,
Can you read it?
before, before I get to Joe, I have to take a shower.
Exactly. Before I get to job, I have to take a shower. Yes? Before. For example, when you go to a roman, you take a shower before. You don't take a shower as soon as you enter to it. Maybe. It could be, but I guess that in some positions for some people, but we usually don't take a shower when we get to work. We do it before. Probably, if due to the quarantine and due to the coronavirus, you know that you cannot enter to a place because you're not probably clean. So maybe in some places they make people take a shower before. So they can get to work, they take a shower. Maybe. but we usually have it like before I get to job or before I get to my workplace, I have to take a shower. It's not after I get to the place. I have to do it before. So I need that you complete number two, number three, and number four. I will give you 1 minute. Now the answers. Number two, Christian.
Until
Can
until
you
you
read?
create the material, you can start using it.
Perfect. Until you pay for the material, you can start using it, not before. Yes. Probably you can say once. Once you pay for the material, you can start using it. But that is like immediately. You pay and you use it. Maybe. But normally you pay and later you use it. So until you pay for the material, you can start using it. Number three, Daniel Peña.
Yeah. Give the change after you know how much the total is.
Exactly. So you have to give the change. For example, if someone pays with a $20 bill and you need to give change, you give the change after you know how much the total is. Before you don't have the information. You don't know how much you have to give as change. So first you need to get the total and then you give the change. So give the change after you know how much the total is. And the last one, Carlos, number four.
All the workers can go until they finish their work.
Good. So all the workers can go until they finish work. Yes, before that, they cannot leave. Until they finish, they can leave. Yes? So it is pretty easy. You're just describing two actions that happen in the past, or two actions that happen in the present, or two actions that will happen in the future, but you only want to describe the sequence. So now let's see Alfredo. Alfredo. Adolfo, Alberto, sorry. I said Alfredo. Adolfo. So, Adolfo, what do you do once you get your Christmas bonus? Listen again. What do you do? Not what are you going to do or what you did. What do you do? What do you usually do when you get your Christmas bonus?
Well, first of all, I save a little money, maybe use for other year
for
and
for next
for
year.
next year, and also I pay I pay my loan.
Good, good. So he said, when I receive my Christmas bonus, I save some money. I save some money. So in this case, this is something that he usually does with that money. What about Melvin? My question is, what are you going to do when you get your Christmas bonus? I don't know if you have already received it, but have you already received your Christmas bonus?
Yes.
Okay. So imagine that you haven't. Imagine that you haven't received your Christmas bonus. So what are you going to do if you receive the Christmas bonus next week, for example? Or
I
what will you do when you get your Christmas bonus?
I buy a new cell phone.
I,
I buy.
if you say I buy, it is every day.
I will buy.
I will buy, or I'm going to buy. Exactly. I will buy a new cell phone. Good. Christian, what do you do when you got your Christmas bonus? What do you do?
For this year, I will go.
No, what
I
do
will
you do
go
with the
my.
money?
Sorry.
What do you do with that money? Because you received that money probably last week. So, what did you
Okay.
do with that money? What do you do when you receive that money?
I make a plan with my parents for this money.
Okay, so I made a plan. I made a plan. Because my question is, ¿qué hiciste cuando te dieron el dinero? Yes? No qué haces, because qué haces is what do you do? No qué vas a hacer, because if it is qué vas a hacer, what are you going to do or what will you do? So my question is about the past. What did you do when you received the money? So in this case, you said I made a plan with my parents to see what I can do with the money. Good. Now, Constantino, do you have a baby?
No.
Who has a baby here? I remember that someone had a baby. David. Oh no, Adolfo. Okay, so it was Adolfo. I thought it was Constantino. But do you have any children, Constantino?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, pay attention to the question. What do you do as soon as you saw your first baby? What do you do as soon as you saw your first baby?
As soon as. Excuse me.
As soon as you saw your first baby, what do you do?
Uh, um, uh, I I don't know. Uh, how do you say chinear?
Carry or hold,
Uh,
you can say.
I carried when I saw. I take and I carry carry carry.
Carry or
Yeah.
hold, you can say, I hold my baby. In the past, held. So
Mm,
in this case, you can say, as soon as I saw my
yeah.
baby for the first
Mhm.
time, I held him or I carried him in my arms.
Yeah. Mhm.
Good, good. I did something different to check something so that they cannot change your baby.
Mhm.
To see maybe they have I don't know, any marks, like marks or something that you need to check. so that they don't change your baby. That's very important.
Uh,
Good.
no.
Okay, Cecilia. When was your last vacation? When was your last vacation?
My last vacation in May.
In May.
In May, yes.
Okay, now, what did you do after vacation?
Repeat, please.
What did you do after vacation? Because your vacation was in
Um,
May, so what do you do after vacation?
I stay on my home because it's in quarantena. I
Really?
stayed, yes.
So in June you didn't go to work? No.
¿Cómo?
In June you didn't go to work, or yes?
Yes,
But you are telling me that you stayed home.
in May.
I'm asking you, what did you do after your
Ah,
vacation?
I went to my work.
Okay, I went to work. Good. Carlos, what did you do when you saw that chair that you're using right now?
I checked if was it was complete. If don't, it doesn't. If
You didn't.
didn't have any crack, any crack.
Good. Good, good, good. So I checked if it was complete. Good. Now, Daniel Peña. mm, how did you feel after you wore glasses for the first time?
After, after do you?
No, my question is, how did you feel after you wore glasses for the first time? What do you do? Or how do you feel?
Uh, I clean my glasses or
No, how did you feel after you wore your glasses for the first time? How did you feel? Because in the past you didn't wear glasses. So you went to a doctor one day and they told you that you needed glasses. Okay. So what did you do the day that you wore glasses? So after you wore glasses, how do you feel? You put on your glasses and then what do you feel?
I don't understand, teacher, the question.
¿Cómo te sentiste después de usar lentes por primera vez?
Oh, I don't
How did
know
you
this.
feel after you wore glasses for the first time? How do you feel after you wore glasses for the first time? How do you feel?
I feel
I felt
how do you say raro?
weird.
I feel weird.
I felt,
I
because I
felt
feel this right now.
weird.
I felt
I
weird.
felt weird.
Exactly. So after I wore glasses for the first time, I felt weird. Good. Joshua, did you finish paying your house?
Yes, I finished paying my
Good.
house.
Good for you. Good for you. Now, What did you do as soon as you finished paying your house? What did you do as soon as you finished paying your house?
I took a lot of picture.
Good. I took a lot of pictures. Good.
Yes.
Good, good, good. David, what did you do before you worked Ironman? What did you do before you worked Ironman? You worked at Ironman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I worked in logistic, transportation logistic.
Good. So before I worked Ironman, I worked in transportation logistic. Good.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Adolfo. No, Adolfo participated before. Let's see. Nancy, you can chat. You can type it and send in the chat. Nancy, how do you feel after they removed your wisdom tooth? How do you feel after they removed your wisdom tooth? So she's going to type it. While she answers, Kenya and Brenda, can you participate? I know Oscar is working. I know Mary is working too. But Brenda and Kenya, are you working or can you participate? Okay, so Nancy said, I felt pain after anesthesia. Good, good. It is true. Now, next person. Let's see. Well, the other guys are working. But the last one, Stanley. Do you have a car?
No,
Okay. So, what do you think? What do you think you will do after you buy a new car?
to buy a new car. I'm going to celebrate with my family
Good.
in a trip.
I'm going to celebrate with my family. So, as you can see, you always use this kind of words to express sequence of actions. Remember that you have before, after, as soon as, once, the moment, until, and by the time. By the time is like para cuando terminé la escuela o para cuando yo me gradué, yo ya tenía mi casa. So you can say, by the time I graduated from high school, I already had my own house. By the time I graduated from high school, I had traveled to different countries. Yeah, so you have different situations. Now you're going to work in person. I'm going to send you some situations and you have to tell your classmate what you will do, what you did, or what you do before, after, while, the moment, once, or by the time you do some activities. You have also to tell your classmates why you think like that. And your classmate will express his agreement or disagreement. For example, let's say that I'm working with Christian. So I tell Christian, hey Christian, before this year ends, that this is the first question that you're going to discuss. Before this year ends, I will buy a new TV. Before this year ends, I will buy a new TV because the one that I have in my house is getting damaged. So I need one, and I think that I will buy that TV 1 week before this year ends. And then Christian can tell me, oh, really? In my case, I don't need a new TV. So before this year ends, I will go to the beach and spend time with my family because we have been in quarantine for a long time. So I think that it's necessary for our family to be this to have distractions or to spend some time together. I don't know, whatever you want to say. But this is a conversation, not only like sentences. I don't want sentences. I need like a conversation. So you have to say why, you have to give your opinion, you have to tell your classmate what you want to do or what you will do or what you do or what you did in the past, before, after, once, the moment, as soon as some situations happen in your life. Yes? So I just want to confirm once again. Brenda, can you participate? Kenya, can you participate?
Yes.
Okay, so Kenya can participate. Mario is working, I know. And Javier, are you still working? Javier?
Excuse me,
Oh,
teacher.
he's at home. Okay.
I have a problem with my internet.
Okay, but just try to participate. So we are going to work in pairs. I'm going to tell you what you have to talk about, but remember that this is like a conversation. You agree or you disagree, you tell your classmate, make suggestions, whatever you want to say. So I'm going to create the groups. Only Nancy will be with one group and she's not going to be speaking because she can't. But the rest of you, I think you can. So I'm going to create them right now. In the number one, Adolfo with David. In the number two, Christian and Daniel Peña. In the number three, Joshua and Felix. In the number four, Cecilia, Constantino, and Javier. Because no, it's not Cecilia. Sorry, it is Nancy. Nancy, Constantino, and Javier because Nancy can speak. In the next one, Cecilia with Stanley, Cecilia and Stanley. And in the last one, we will have Kenya with Melvin. So you're going to enter right now. Enter, guys. Hi, Cesar. Cesar. Good evening, Cesar. Good evening, Cesar. Cesar, Cesar.
Okay, okay. Um, in
In your house, in your house, in your house, did you celebrate for your graduation?
yeah, yeah. I celebrate my graduate with my family. Yeah, and my friends. Yeah, yeah.
After
It's a good.
after of my graduation, I my family prepare a little bit dinner.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
Where?
in my house.
Ah, good, good.
Good.
For me, but the high school, after graduate, and I went to the, ¿cómo se llama? Hacienda de los Miranda, the old high school. It celebrate in this place.
Uh,
Pay with my old father. Bro.
also, yes, in my school, they yeah they didn't prepare party. Only was the graduation.
The ceremony.
Teacher, how do you the sem es
Ceremony.
¿cómo sería assembly
Ceremony.
ceremony?
Ceremony. Mhm.
Only was ceremony.
Ceremony.
Yes,
It's good. It's
only
But
was
good.
ceremony.
you didn't have a
Uh,
you didn't have a party.
no, I don't know why.
For me, yes. After este, how do you say? Como dijo,
Ceremony.
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 Ceremony is the party for the Hacienda de los Mirandas.
It was the party. It was the party.
Sorry, it was the party at Hacienda de los Miranda. It's a
As soon
good, it's a good, it's a good, it's a
Play.
good celebration because I have
It
a
or it
mariachis.
was.
I had.
Mhm.
It was a good celebration because it was funny and friendly party.
Good. Did you
And
take many pictures?
take a picture.
Did you take many pictures?
Yeah, yeah. I had a picture.
I took
I took a picture.
only one.
And teacher, no,
You are saying I
I
took a picture.
I took a, a
Some.
lot of a lot of
Oh, or I'm
uh
sorry.
some took a picture
I took
with
some
my mom.
pictures.
Sorry.
I took some pictures.
uh I took some picture Teacher, and how do you say, contrataron,
Hire,
mariachis?
hire.
I
Hire, hire,
They
hire
hire
mariachis, así.
mariachis.
They hire mariachis. It's a
Good.
good. Yeah, yeah. It's a
It's
good celebration. It was a good celebration.
yes, it was. I can imagine that.
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Good.
yes. In my case, I studied in high school Joyas de Serén, but it's the it was ceremony was little bit boring. Only the it was ceremony was in Hotel Intercontinental,
Yeah.
but only some people talk of the many of the cómo sería
Hey,
lo que hicieron en todo el año
that is. I guess it is like memorial.
in the memorial moments.
Ah,
Maybe.
pero, teacher, in the United States le llaman un libro, ¿cómo se llama?
Yes, in the
Hasta películas hay famosas de eso. The picture is famous for the name of
the annual,
the ¿ah?
the annual book,
Un book
yearbook,
de de
yearbook,
Memories
todo el
book.
año.
year,
Yearbook.
yearbook.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
So the next one.
the next one, what is? Once you go, how you want? Ah, mm, ¿Cómo obtuve el trabajo en Román?
No, once means
¿Cuál
una
fue
vez
mi
que.
primer?
Una vez que. Once. Once you got a job at a man.
Get. Una vez que
Do you check the second one?
Uh, I I try to write once you got a job at Aeroman.
Yes, what happened? Once you got a job at a man, what happened?
Um, I learned about aircraft because I don't know a lot about the aircraft or the systems, the systems in inside of the aircraft. I learned only for a basically sentence or for the old version of the aircraft. But when I once I got to job at the Aeroman, I learned a lot for the aircraft because my skill is systems and I work with the main landing gear, nose landing gear, the brakes, the hydraulic systems, the fly surface, the movement of fly surface. I work with the engine inside the engines. I think that I learned a lot about the aircraft.
Good, Christian, good. Now, Daniel, tell Christian, once you got a job at Airman, what happened?
The
The voice encoding
okay.
uh, present presentation de how do you say entrevista
Interview.
Interview.
in a interview
Interview.
in office TACA in airport. For me is surprise. Very
What surprise?
yes, I was surprised. Um, I sent the curriculum. How you say? How do you say curriculum? Every
Res-
company uh, in an airport.
Okay.
Next week, finish the was work Primo Industria and start in Aeroman.
Mm, okay.
No, no, in, no remember uh,
I don't
a
remember.
specific time. Uh, be,
You always work in the uh, warehouse.
yes, I was start warehouse clerk
I studied.
beginning. I studied beginning warehouse clerk. Uh, the next time, different uh, assigned in the warehouse.
Okay.
And you?
Okay. In my case, I was very happy.
Repeat, please.
What other thing do you
I'm
start?
sorry.
What other things do you start when you start to work at Oman?
Overtime.
No, what other thing
How do you say?
do
How
you
do you say
do?
overthink?
Otras cosas.
Uh,
What other thing
Other.
do you do when you start work at Oman?
What other things did you do
Did you do?
when
Yeah,
you started to work at Aeroman?
Oman. Yeah.
Uh, I I went to the party in the night. The later the job. Can you hear me,
Yeah. Repeat, please.
Constantino?
Repeat.
Can you
Can
hear
you
me?
repeat it, Javier?
Uh,
Javier, repeat, please.
uh, Outside Roman, I play basketball and I went to the party in the night and in my free day I go to the I went to the beach.
Yeah.
The my screen is freezing.
Try to enter
I
again.
don't know. See,
Try to enter again.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Continue with Nancy. Maybe she can type over there.
Okay. Nada, sí.
Hi, Brenda. Can you participate right now? Are you still working, Brenda?
Hi.
Can you participate or you're working?
No, es que el internet me da demasiado.
Okay, I understand. I will send you with Stanley and Cecilia. With Stanley and Cecilia. Maybe you can practice with them, or if you have problems, just listen to them. So you can go right now. Enter.
The is the interest.
Yeah.
The ID is the mandatory. The fast
Mandatory. The moment you did, the moment you did pass, what do you, what
What
do you do?
happened? What happened the moment that you did the pies?
I, I, I pass the, espera, I hope the pass, o esperaba,
Yes, I hope to pass the pie. But try to speak more. This is like a conversation.
I, because the pass is important because enter the new career, the college career.
Mayor.
uh,
Go
Major. uh, Only teacher.
Okay.
And you can
Caesar, Kenya.
um, budget is the important este after the um, ¿cómo sería hablar bien? O sea, buena presentación.
Speak well.
And the way the student.
I didn't understand. Can you repeat it?
En su momento, ahí la pregunta dice en su momento que hice la PAE.
En el momento en que hizo la PAES, ¿qué pasó?
I hope the past. I hope the past and
Ujú.
I after worry the the note
I,
for
wa-
the
I
note
was worried.
preocupada por la nota.
I was worried about the score.
Ajá.
I was
And
worried about the score.
I was the worry
I was worried
this I
about
was worried
about the score.
I was I, I was worried
About the score.
I was worried about the score
Mhm.
and is the student
It,
Like
about what?
for the Oscar Ernesto por un robo.
Because
El soldado
yes,
de paz de Salpa encontró.
yes, for the new notice about the two
Yo no los
co-workers.
conozco.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who. ¿Cómo sería? No los conozco.
I don't know them.
I don't know
I
them.
don't know that.
No,
I don't know that. Ah,
I
okay, okay.
I don't know them
It's
because
complicated.
David says in this morning in the newspaper or news notice two co-workers has been ¿cómo sería encarcelado o
In jail.
how
In jail.
in jail? Two co-workers was in jail.
Two co-workers
Yes, two
were in
co-workers
jail.
was in,
Why?
yes because they wrote any parts of the Ironman, any materials of the Iron
Yeah,
That's so bad.
in Iron
but
Man.
in the company had a big how do you say bodegas,
Water store,
House.
water store,
Warehouse.
warehouse.
warehouse. And the company bought para todo el año,
For all the year.
for all the year.
And
It's
Iron Man catch in the act.
yeah. I don't know catch because I don't know, but the
Yes, because the notice says
The news.
the news says that the co-workers drove in car property of the Ironman. Maybe they think that could leave of the Ironman en ¿cómo sería? Descargar
To take out,
o
to take down
to
the
take down material for other car maybe I don't know.
the moment you say goodbye, you classmate for high school. The moment or the moment. What is moment? Momentáneo, moment, momento.
The
Not
moment.
yet.
In el momento que, the moment you said
Tú dices adiós.
my classmate from high school, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
Maybe cry.
Uh, no, I was bad because I I took they with they no with us. Ya no hablaré con ellos. I
Because
took.
I wouldn't talk with
I
them.
wouldn't talk. I wouldn't talk with them.
Don't you talk to
It's
them in the present?
yeah. But not all. But
Uh-huh.
not all.
Yeah.
No, it's the near in the room. It's I saw 5 days and talk every day.
Yes, you're right.
But right now I uh, hicieron su vida,
What do you say?
hicieron su vida, pues.
They made their lives.
They made their life.
Made
Yeah. They made their
their
life,
lives.
her life, their
Their
life,
lives.
their life,
Their
their
lives.
life.
En, bueno, ya que llegó el teacher, ¿cómo se dice? Le dije a mi papá que nos llevara. Llevara, la palabra que no encuentro.
I told my father to take me to
En caso que dijera que éramos varios, we take.
us to
Oh, to take us. To take us to went to the lake.
go.
To go. Okay.
To in the verb in the base one. Después de to se
Mm,
pone el verbo normal. To go, to play, to read.
okay. To go to the lake. I remember that we was uh, we was happy in this place.
Oh, yes, this my case is different. In my case, we only ask it for my father or my mother the permission, and we only my cars. And
We only asked for
Okay.
permission, and then what do you say? I couldn't hear. I don't know if you heard, Christian.
No,
Okay, so you
I
said
didn't.
I asked for permission to my parents, and then
and we only went and with my friends' cars. O no sé cómo sería que solo, o sea, pedimos permiso
yes.
y solo nos fuimos con nuestros amigos en los carros de ellos.
Okay, and
It's
where do
good.
you go? Where do you go
They went to go to the beach in the night for the
at night?
lads.
It's good. In this moment, I didn't have a license
In,
or to
in the
drive.
last day of the class.
Okay. In this moment
In
with
this
my
moment,
friends. Okay, sorry. And
that moment,
in that moment, I remember that
In that moment.
nothing have a license for
No
or to
one
drive a car. No one.
to drive a car.
No one. Yes, because um, we are young. Yes,
We are or we were?
we were young.
We were young. That's true.
And
Yes, I was the uh, how do you say reencontrarse o reencuentro.
Is a
Um,
refund,
Reunion, could you?
refund,
refound,
refume.
No.
resume.
What do you want to say, Felix?
Okay, I think say
Re,
the
reencuentro, dice.
the classmate
A class
say
reunion.
goodbye. Yes. Nos reunimos en
Meet.
ocasiones
We meet sometimes.
with needs.
We meet,
Meets or hey.
or
Okay,
sometimes we meet.
I I was November uh, meets sometimes the classmate because the father the one is correct partner or is correct partner.
Father is a man.
Okay, one one partner. Your father is dead.
His father.
His father dead. Yes,
Died.
and
His father died. Su papá murió.
yes,
His father died.
his his father
His
died,
father died.
and because classmate uh, meet and come uh, the how do you say apoyar
Support.
support
Yes.
Support.
Support.
support. Yes, only comment by the time you got your
Judui.
is
Okay.
full stress.
So in in this year, I feel very good because in this year was for uh, cita. How do you say
Okay,
cita?
Appointment. Appointment.
The
Appointment.
process was very fast.
Can you hear me,
I
Joshua?
remember that.
I guess he can't.
No. How do you say cita,
Appointment.
teacher? Appointment. Yes. And this year was appointment. Was very fast the process. I remember that I stay into the DUI Centro for 20 minutes.
oh 20 good
So in
experience.
the first yes, in the first time was a lot of difficult.
Do you remember?
Mm, yes, I got for first time my DUI and oh, I don't know.
I don't,
because
don't
first
remember.
because first uh, I got the cedula, but the
Ah,
though I don't remember when in trans in in vigencia, teacher. How do you say vigencia? ¿Cuándo entró en vigencia?
When it started in, but what do you want to say exactly?
Eh, o sea, no recuerdo cuándo entró en vigencia el DUI, por ejemplo.
Cuando entró en vigencia? When it started.
Ajá. Ajá. Because first uh, was the cédula.
ah,
After change for DUI.
Ah, when it started circulate.
Yeah.
So you
But
circulate.
remember when Dewey started to circulate?
mhm. But I don't remember in what years was.
I don't know because when I got the Dewey, I don't know what it was before.
Yeah. Uh, Nancy say she went to get the DUI with her mom. She sang. Okay.
I remember when I the get my DUI,
Um,
I went with my father and my mother.
um, um,
The first, the, la primera vez, the first time.
mhm.
In the years not don't remember.
I don't remember the year. I
Mm.
don't
I
know.
don't remember the year.
Hmm. Yes, I don't know. Maybe what Constantino wanted to say was something like effect came, like take effect probably. I don't know when it
Mm.
took effect or came into effect or something like that, or
Yeah.
when it had validity probably, but take effect probably. I don't remember when it took effect because it is in the past.
Yeah. I got my need to
So what did you
what's
have before
wrong.
doing? What do you have before doing, Constantino?
Excuse me?
What did you have before doing?
Uh, I don't remember.
What was the
Cédula.
ID? What do you say?
The,
Cédula.
the document is cédula.
Okay,
Ah,
did
it
you have a
it
cell?
was first. Uh,
Did you have a
no listen.
I can't listen. I can't. No, no listen.
Ah, I can listen.
Can you hear me?
uh,
Yes.
um,
Yeah. I was asking you,
ha, ha,
Constantino, if you had what was the word? Cédula. Do you have a cédula?
yes, I have a cédula. All.
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't know in which year they changed to do it. I will search it.
I
Probably.
don't remember. Uh-huh.
let's see, in 2001.
Okay. Yeah.
In
I.
2001. So I think that it was the same year for the dollars, or not?
Mhm.
2001.
Yeah. Yeah.
2001.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nancy says that she went to get the Dewey with her mom, and she signed for her. Yes, that's true. I went with my mom too. So
Mm.
they ask you to fill out a form with all the information.
Mhm. Yeah. For
Be-
the first time, uh, uh, need carry one person for sign.
yes,
Mm.
that
Yeah.
is true.
Mm.
And I remember that when people got the Dewey, they had a lot of problems. Many people, because in the past people had a birth date. Yes, for example,
Okay.
they were born in November 7th, and when they got the due, it said October 21st. And they say, how is
Uh,
that possible? But it was true
yes.
because in the past, people didn't check the certificate of birth. They didn't check it. But when they started with
Yeah.
the DUI, as far as I remember, for the DUI, they checked everything in the certificate. So
Mhm.
that's why many people had a problem with the DUIs.
Yeah.
My sister had a problem to get the DUI. We are twins, but no identical twins. So we went the
Uh-huh.
same day. I got the DUI, but she couldn't because in the certificate of birth, she had the two last names of my father, but they were together. They didn't have the space. It means that long time ago, the secretary who typed the birth of the certificate of birth didn't give space between my father first last name and second last name. So they were the two of them together, and my sister had like last name that was Lima Lopez, but together. So she was Lima Lopez Ramirez, Lima Lopez, like
Yeah.
one last name. So she had to pay a lawyer to modify the certificate, and
For
then
change.
she could
Yeah.
get to do it. It
Yeah.
was a long process.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have problem with my last name. It's not very common here. You are right, because Claudio is
Other
very common.
other problem was uh, when the principal alcaldía,
The city hall.
uh, yeah, excuse me,
City hall.
city hall, in the uh, pueblos, I don't
Town.
know, pueblos,
Towns.
excuse me, uh,
Town.
uh, towns, uh, transcribe the in paper the document, las partidas, and when the people write bad one letter or change
The dates.
the names, are it was a big problem too.
Yes, they made a lot of mistakes. They made a lot
Yeah.
of mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Why aren't you talking, guys?
We talk a lot, teacher. We don't know what talk, what more talk.
I
Hey,
sent
teacher,
you.
I already in your house.
I sent you some seconds ago. Before you started English classes, what happened?
I don't see that.
I have been sending a lot of information.
Yes, teacher.
So what?
Mm,
But keep it
before you start
like a conversation.
started in this.
Before I studied English class, I didn't know much about English because I only studied in school. And in school, if you remember, they only taught you the alphabet and the numbers, only one sound, and we didn't have like a normal class. So before I studied English classes, I didn't know much. I remember that I told one of my co-workers that there was a program to learn English at Aeroman. So we investigated about that. We went to human resources. We asked about. So that's what I need. That you talk, you tell your experience, what happened, not only one sentence. Yes, this is the moment for you to speak. So speak.
Come on, Cecilia. You can do it.
Ah, tengo el audio. Mm, eh, and I don't know. You, Stanley.
I think that, for example, I before I start the English class, I have some problems with the grammar. Because in the school, the teacher don't teach us uh, the right, don't teach us much, and for me, sometimes it's complicated because I understanding a conversation, I understand the other person, but when I try to talk, I sometimes I stay like I don't remember some words how to say it, and it's very complicated sometimes.
And
But
how
I
was your
try, but I try.
and how was your life before you started learning English?
Yes,
What do you do? How did you know about the program? So that's what you have to say.
that's okay.
Could
In
you
the
hear me?
company,
Yes. Danny?
Um,
I'm gonna say that in the company, every day they asking us how much we learn about the English because the company is in expansion. I would say it's correct to say expansion.
The what is the word?
Expansion,
Yes, expansion.
expansion. And they have they bought a company on December the last year. They bought a company in North Carolina, and they in this year uh, one coworker go to that company
Went.
and tell us that went to that company, and the manager asking us who know English more or less, and so they are thinking on that we go to that company in the future,
That is an
and it's very necessary. The English is so
yes,
necessary.
it is. Believe it or not, it is important not only for work, for different situations. If you go to the supermarket and you buy a product and you want to see the instructions in English,
Yeah,
what is this for? No, I don't know. I don't know. I think that is shampoo, they said. And it is not shampoo, maybe it is for your body. So you need to know English. English is important. What about
and
Cecilia?
for this company,
Yes, for the company too. But not
but
only
for
for work,
the clients are all the clients is the other country.
are from other countries.
Yes, are from other countries.
Good. What about Cecilia? How was your life before you started learning English?
Um, only studied in my high school. Um, my teacher, my teachers are good
Where?
because
Good.
um,
Teachers were good.
because he teach very good. Where?
Yes, because in the past, it's not in the present.
Where he he, he enseñar. He teach,
They taught,
teach.
teach in the present, taught in the past.
They taught very good,
Very well.
but is very well. But is basic
Basic.
only basic.
And how do you know about this program, Cecilia? How do you know about these classes?
Um, una amiga me contó
But tell me in English.
por WhatsApp.
A friend
And my a friend
told
say me
told me.
told me
Mhm.
that for the class because because ella se inscribió también. How do you say?
She enrolled too.
She enrolled too.
So she was your coworker.
Yes.
And is she in this class or in another class?
And he she's yeah she's not in the class because he llegaba tarde, o sea, llegaba muy noche a la casa.
She arrived late at home.
She arrived late at home.
Okay, so she couldn't continue with the classes.
Mm-hmm.
Good, good. So as you can see, this is the way that you keep like a conversation because if you only say one sentence, you're not having a conversation. When you speak more, your brain works more because you need more vocabulary and your fluency is better because you're improving, you're speaking more and more and more. So try to do it when you have this kind of conversations. You can keep talking. You can ask your classmate, "Oh, really? Is she studying right now?" And then she says, "No, she isn't. Why?" "Oh, because she arrives late at home, so she can't continue." "Oh, probably she needs to talk to her supervisor about that." Yeah, she tried, but human resources said that they could change the schedule, but later they said no. So I think that she is not like asking too much. So they said no, and she accepted like a no. But in my case, if they say that they are going to change my schedule, I tell human resources. So human resources negotiates my schedule to be in class. So in other words, keep practicing. Yes, keep talking, not only one sentence. That's it. Yes, this is for you to practice a little bit more. Now, let's go back to main session. Okay, now before finishing, well, I was telling some of your classmates to try to speak more when you are in this kind of activities. For example, we were talking about the last one. Um, Before you studied English, what happened in your life? And then you say, oh, before I studied English, I didn't know anything about English. My life was different because I had more time to watch TV, but I watched TV in Spanish. So now I watch TV, but I watch it in English, sometimes with subtitles. I sing some songs, I understand some things, so I think that it is a little bit different. And I entered to this program because a friend told me that there was a program and that it was free. So I asked human resources, and so to speak more, that is the idea. Yes. And also your classmates can ask you. I entered to some rooms and your classmates were asking you, oh really, and what happened later when you were talking about your graduation from high school, and they say, oh really, and where was the party? Oh, we didn't have a party, we only had the ceremony in a hotel, but then nobody danced, nobody said that we could go to a disco, we only went home. And my family only had a special dinner for me. So this is the way that you interact with your classmates. Just try to do it because you need to practice too. Now, two things before finishing. Number one, tomorrow is the last day. So we finish the course tomorrow. I don't know when you're going to return. I guess the second week in January. So you will have a long vacation, like a month vacation. But try to practice at home. Number two, you need to complete the activities in week number 4. All the activities in week number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Why? Because we finish tomorrow, so everything needs to be ready tomorrow. And the final test is tomorrow too. So try to be on time so that you have enough time to complete the test. Yes, it is about unit number 3 and unit number 4. So study unit number 3 and unit number 4. It is written, it has listening, grammar, and reading. So those are the aspects that you will see on the quiz. Now the attendance. Felix Ernesto Castellanos,
Present.
José Ábalos,
Present.
Carlos Barrera. Well, Carlos was here. Yes. Cesar Benavides.
Present.
Good. Cristian Cardona.
Present.
Good. Adolfo Castro.
Present.
Cecilia Castro.
Present.
Kenia Clark.
Present.
Nancy Peter, but she can speak. David de Leon.
Present, present.
Melvin Gallardo.
Present.
Oscar Gomez. Oh, but he was there. Constantino Guardado.
Present.
Good. Mario Hernandez. Good. Stanley Pina.
Present.
Javier Benjivar.
Present.
Brenda Orellana.
Present.
Daniel Peña.
Present.
And Lisette, that I don't know who she is. So that's all for now, guys. We are going to continue tomorrow. Remember to study for unit number 3 and unit number 4 test that is tomorrow. So I see you tomorrow and have a good night. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.